welcome back on Let's Talk. Thank you for tuning in, guys. So on today's topic, we'll be discussing the environment, environmental well-being, environmental awareness, and all about the environment. We'll be led by Hlomla, Mdala.
Hey guys, so what I want to achieve, I don't want to give a lecture. It should be, everyone should participate in what I'm going to say, whatever, have your own comment. Okay, so the environment is not something that we usually discuss as black people, okay? It's not a usual topic. I would almost say it's like a taboo topic.
Neglected too much.
We never talk about it, for that matter. But we see its effects on us. So first of all, we need to look at what is pollution. How would you define pollution as an individual?
I would define it as us messing up. An example of that would be illegal dumping. There's various, I'm pretty sure that in each and every township, if not every township here in South Africa, suffers from illegal dumping. There are many illegal dumpings even where we are right now. So, and it affects us badly because it carries, how can I say this? It carries diseases, yes. And also it comes with the rats who also carry their own diseases too.
Infestations.
So, that's what I would say. So how do you define illegal?
Well, as you said, is to mess up too. But like what I would like to add on that, there are many forms of pollution, and I believe it is what we'll be discussing later on. So like we find land pollution, noise pollution, water pollution, air pollution, and that's about it. And it's to mess up basically.
So pollution is when you're messing up, when you are simply degrading something, right? So you are degrading the land, you are degrading the air, you are degrading the water, you are degrading the environment as a whole. So what do I mean when I say you are degrading? It's no longer in its original form, right? So when we're talking about air pollution, right, the oxygen is no longer the same. The air is filled with carbon,
greenhouse gases,
greenhouse emissions, and stuff like that. So that causes many health problems in people, right? So some people develop breathing problems, some may have constant headaches, some may become infected by the water, right? So the water has pesticides and stuff like that. So now we need to look at deforestation, okay? The chopping down of trees for...
Also gonna add it has short term and long, according to the research that I've done, it has short term and long term
Absolutely.
Health issues. And I would like to list them as well. The short term ones are asthma, congenital illnesses such as nausea, dizziness, headaches, anxiety, eye and respiratory infections, which are the short-term ones. And long-term concerns are lung cancer, kidney and liver, respiratory, cardiovascular, brain and nervous, and
that's good.
many more.
And many more.
And also before we move on to deforestation, going back to greenhouse gases, we know that the emissions of carbon dioxide, emission of methane, and the nitrogen gases, as more numbers increase in those emissions, we're making the earth more warmer and warmer and warmer, and that will have an effect on the environment as well. So like soon we
Climate change.
Yes, climate change. We might run out of food, which will suffer from nutritional problems and such.
So as I said, it's degrading the standards of things. So deforestation is quite common. It's also a common environmental problem, right? Because we are chopping down the trees. We are for wood, for braai,
and
for unnecessary stuff at times. Sorry?
And those bright, they emit more and more carbon dioxide,
Exactly.
carbon monoxide,
So in whatever you do, you are emitting carbon, right? In everything that you do, you are contributing to. So these environmental problems, they have long effects, right? As you said. So one of them is the energy crisis, and we are currently facing the energy crisis in South Africa, load shedding. But load shedding is not due to this; it's due to other problems, infrastructure problems. But in some countries, it's due to these. Yeah. So now we're going to look at climate change. The most important after effect of
this.
What you're talking about. So when we're talking about climate change, is the change in temperature and weather patterns, right?
Yes.
So gases such as carbon dioxide, they build up in the atmosphere and they trap the heat, right? And they're also depleting the ozone layer. Okay. My former teacher used to say, "That's a gat in the ozone." Okay. And it's getting bigger. The hole is getting bigger, and we're going to burn, right?
Yeah.
Without the ozone, we are toast.
And
right?
there will be increased risk of skin cancers and many other health problems.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure heat strokes as well will also increase. Because
heat strokes.
Yes.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Other health problems.
Yes.
So, what are the after effects of climate change? What would you say?
There's plenty of them. If I could list according to research, it's intense droughts, rising sea levels, heat waves, and melting glaciers, and warming oceans.
Now the melting glaciers will obviously affect the sea levels, right?
And more floods will happen.
So the more there's heat, the more the plants are dying due to the droughts, which means food security is being threatened, right?
Even
the more
there's heat.
The more there's heat,
the glaciers, they melt.
They melt. Sea levels rise and stuff like that.
Animals lose habitat.
And did you know that the seas will get warmer? And that will cause disruption in the habitats of fishes.
Yes. Ecosystem will be disturbed.
The ecosystem will be disrupted. Algae will grow on the waters.
Yeah. Fish will die.
Fish will die. We'll no longer eat fish. Our children won't know sharks. They won't know whales. Stuff like that.
And also us will be dead because of no food.
And also I read somewhere it says our body also needs a certain level of water to eat. So I think being hot, when it's that hot, it will not have as much.
Yeah, we'll lose more water.
Yes,
And the scary thing is, there's also water pollution also. And the way that we polluting water, and also we are wasting it. So the availability of water will soon be no more.
And it's a problem. It's already a problem. Just a few years ago, there was almost a day zero.
Yes.
Now, a few months back, I think even currently, there's a water crisis going on in the Eastern Cape.
It is. I think it's been since late last year, if I'm not mistaken.
And these things are not being addressed. That is one of the problems. They're not being addressed, and I wouldn't want to blame the government. The government, there are policies. There are policies in place, but it's the implementation of the policies. As I always say, it's the implementation and the will. Willingness is what is needed for most of things that are happening around us. So, what are we as citizens? What is our role in ending this? Do we resort to mob justice? Do we want to have kangaroo courts that will deal with this?
No, I believe we don't want
the
that.
water crisis specific or
environmental. Because it's affecting us.
I think it's a change of attitude.
Change of
Attitude. What we're doing now will continue. like throwing in those.
Yes, and it has become a norm.
Yeah. And we justify it by saying, giving the people who clean up jobs.
Creating more jobs.
Yeah.
That is,
What the hell is that?
that is rubbish.
That is disrespect.
So I would say that's the first step. If we would stop just throwing it anyway, there are plans for a reason.
So now we're looking at the solutions, right? So one of the solutions I believe would be the government investing in recycling. Okay. Recycling should be a big industry in all countries.
Yes.
It should be one of the biggest industries. This will
You know, entrepreneurs must take note now.
yeah, I'm giving you notes, guys. The recycling should be the biggest priorities that a country should have, right?
Yes, sure.
They should invest in recycling by paying people who are
Bring
recycling.
rubbish.
Yeah, bring rubbish to the
Landfills.
to the landfill. The landfill should be paying that will encourage and it because we say money makes the world go round.
Yes. It will make it go around.
So if you want the world to become clean, let's invest in it.
Yes.
All right. Now the second thing that I would also say is investing in green energy.
Yeah.
This thing of coal is really creating a problem for our ozone layers, really creating a problem for
Us as well, the environment.
the environment, because we are emitting, you know, the air is becoming polluted. If you're going to Cape Town, guys, I don't know what they call that thing. There's a cloud, a certain cloud. It's not a rain cloud. It's a cloud of the gases, the dirt.
Yeah.
You see how serious it is. It has become.
And to go back to deforestation, we are cutting so many trees and there are less plants or trees to absorb this carbon dioxide,
And to hold the land intact, because without trees, there will be more soil erosion, because nothing is holding the soil together.
And there will be like less chances for us to grow or plant, food security again.
Once again, it's being affected.
Also going back to that illegal dumping thing, if we would copy Singapore maybe, but yeah, I don't think South Africa has that much of a
Willingness.
and the manpower and financial resources to do it, because police are already overwhelmed with work. I don't think there's enough of them. Because in Singapore, you are heavily fined for throwing in, for littering. Anyway.
But when you're looking at fines, would you pay the fine if you were fined then?
No.
Yeah, because
there should be a consequence. What?
There's no consequences. That is a problem with but Ngqoba, we are moving to law. And
Yes.
But there should be consequence, I think, for illegal dumping too.
So, biodegradable things, we should be investing in them. So investing in no more using plastics.
Yes.
Or minimizing the use of plastic, not saying no more.
Reusing, like
Yeah.
a cycle.
Plastic.
Go to the shop. When you're going to the shop, if you have plastic at home, bring them. The kind of idea, those of us who go to Woolworths,
Okay.
they don't use plastic bags anymore. They use a bag, that material.
Okay.
So and the products now they're being moved away from being packed in plastic stuff.
Because like so many stuff are packed in plastic, even unnecessary stuff, like even a small little object or whatsoever. It's inserted in a plastic and covered around with a plastic, and as a consumer, you're just gonna, get rid of the plastic, take whatever that you bought, throw away the plastic. Now, when will that plastic decompose?
Never. In a million years.
In a million years.
In a million years. So, if we had a safe public transport system in the country, we would have been using less of our cars and more of, but it's not reliable.
Yes,
So we can't really use that.
But let's promote less driving, guys, because like the emissions.
More walking.
Yeah, more walking or like using passes. I don't know about that.
Doesn't cost, but it's not safe. That's the problem.
Okay.
You won't feel safe at training with your laptop and all the stuff.
Because
And the taxis is not part of the public transport for that matter. If you didn't know, because it's not part of the government.
Yes. So like less taxis as well.
Yeah, less taxes. Still not too So, any other possible solutions that you could be?
I don't think.
So, guys, let's invest in
Recycling.
recycling.
Yes.
Please recycle. Kokwenu.
And
Go to a shop. Carry that plastic bag again. So that every time you go to the shop, you take plastic at 9. Again, 9, and throwing it away. If you're throwing it away, that's like Ngqoba. Promote bins. And in answer, government is not investing in Mina. Suppose by upper is
everywhere you go, you must meet a bin to avoid that dumping of stuff.
I think that is one of the problems as well.
You know.
When you're done drinking that cold drink from that plastic bottle, put water in it.
And keep it in the fridge. When you're done drinking that can of Coke, give it to Simtha. It's going to recycle it.
Sim to the THA. He's going to use it and recycle it. You know,
stuff like that.
Investing in the 3 R's. You know, reduce, reuse, recycle. Companies should reduce the manufacturing of
we see
plastics.
This stuff. Reduce, reuse.
But like we're not implementing them.
As they implement.
Hypocrites.
So it's the triple R: reduce, reuse, recycle. Thank you, guys. That's all from me for today.
That's all, right?
That's all right.
Thank you for tuning in. Please share, like, subscribe, follow our social media pages, and this is Let's Talk.
Signing out.